What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna be doing a tier list, but there's a difference. It's instead of a tier list of how good the killer is, it's tier list for console players and how good the killer is for a console player that you can use it. So let's start off with Trapper. But even lets me fucking grab it. Start off with Trapper. He's gotta be A, because literally I'd put him at S if he weren't so shit, but that's the thing, he is really bad, but he's good for an Xbox player. And Wraith, I would go S, because literally he's one of the easiest characters to play, and well, you can't really mess up with Wraith, can you? All you need to do is bell, hit, run, bell, hit, run, and you don't have to do no. Okay, well, now Hillbilly, I'm pretty good with Hillbilly, but I think for the people that are like starting off with a console, killer shouldn't do this yet. When I started, it was a hell. Same with that character. I hate that character, despise her. But yeah, so he's really good when you know how to use him properly, but the thing is it takes really long to use. And this one, I've got nothing to say for this one. She's just a terrible thing. Alright, Myers. For Xbox, sometimes it's hard to hit the M2. So, he's really good when you know how to play him, obviously. And he's got some really interesting builds, so I'd put him with Trapper. Hag, I put her with Trapper as well, just because it's basically the same thing. Doctor, it's quite hard to time the shocks properly, but when you get it down, it's pretty easy. And when I used to play Doctor, it just really clicked, really. I would say S for Xbox. This person, well, you can't aim with Xbox, and I'd say that's exactly where she belongs. Bubba, really good when you get the hang of it, again, like him. And honestly, I'd say he's easier than him, so with the right perks, put him in C. Freddy, S. It's quite simple. It's basically just M1, and sometimes you can do the palette blood thing, but most of the time that don't work. Pig, she's basically Michael Myers, but with a worse ability, so I'd put her at B. Clown, again with the aiming, it's hard. But when you get the aiming, if you can't aim, I'd put him down here. But if you get the aiming down, I'd go B. Spirit, honestly, S. If you've got a really good pair of headphones, that's basically all you really need. Really good headphones, and you should basically be killing everyone. Legion, Mending Simulator, I'd go S. Just because he's easy when you learn him like a tiny bit. If you play him for like 3 games, you should get the hang of him. But those first 2 games is going to be quite bad, because the survivor's going to be window teching and everything, and you can't really stop that when you've just started playing the game on console. So Plague, I'd go B, because I know she's an aiming killer, but it's much easier than her, so I'd go B. Ghostface, to be honest, I'm just ranking this. He's really, if it was just for Xbox, I'd put him in S. Well, not just for Xbox, just for console, I'd put him in S. But as a killer, he's quite shit, so I'm going to put him in B. He's really easy to play on Xbox, though. Demogorgon, if you just want an M1, he's easy, but you have to learn that M2 ability, and that takes quite a bit, so we'll put him in C tier. Oni, okay. If you'd asked me this question like a year ago, I'd say this, don't ever touch him. But now, I go A, because behaviour changed him quite a bit, where you can 180 on consoles, so that's a really good change for him. Wish they'd change these 2 for console. Alright, this is my thing. A lot of people tell me if you're good at Call of Duty, you'd be good with this character. But I'm quite good at Call of Duty, and I cannot play this character. I can't aim. I just can't do it. I need a sight. Pyramid Head. When you get aura perks, Aurian perks, I'd say A. But at the start, he's going to be quite shit, because you're not going to know when to use his ability. But when you get those perks and you can see him through walls, it's going to be quite easy to use, so A. Blight, D, simple. You can't turn at all, really, and that's it. Twins, I'd go B actually. I was going to go A, but I'd go B, just because Victor's hard to hit people when they're going around a tree, apparently. So, Trickster, C. Sometimes you get lucky with his fucking knives, so giving him a C. I'm not good with him, but I think a lot of console players could be good with him, so I'm going to give him a B. Pinhead, no, sorry. No Xbox, PlayStation player is going to be good at this character. At the start, she's going to be at D, but when you get better, when you play her for a bit, I'd say B. And well, there's a tricky one. She's easy to play, but her power's a bit hard to understand at first. But when you get her power down, I'd say B. But before the power, I'd say D. So when you get the power down, B. To be honest, people sleep on Dredge. I'm gonna put him up at S. Simple, he can teleport, he can cut off loops pretty easily. What else? He can teleport to gates, he can teleport to gens, and really a locker. Well, he can teleport to lockers, and I'm pretty sure almost every time a map is even there, a locker's near a gate and the generators. So I'd give him an S. Wesker, this is the issue. I think when you get his ability down, S, but for me, fuck that. He's a D. Knight, I'd say A. His guards are not that hard to learn, but he gave me a little bit of a tough time when I first started. So I'd say an A, but he's really good when you get him. And School Merchant, oh, I despise this bitch. I would say S, even though I hate her. This is a console. Howl Killer would be good for console. Singularity, to be honest, C. Or not bloody B. C. Just because he's really fucking really hard to learn, but when you get the whole cameras, placements, which you can learn all that from YouTube, but when you get all that, it's kind of easy. Him, basically just like Nemesis, but a shitter version, so I'll put him behind, if I can put him behind Nemesis, I'll put him behind Nemesis. Yeah. Chucky, simple, S. Literally, his M2 is probably the easiest dash M2 in the game, and he's dead short, so you won't be able to get seen over loops, and if there's a big wall there, you definitely won't be able to get seen. So yeah, keep that in mind. Unknown, I'd say C, because he's really hard to learn with the whole shooting thing, range, but I think he's an easier range killer to learn than these three, him, her and him. So I'd put him at C, just because he's a tiny bit easier. Lich, I know it's shocking, A. To be honest, it only took me 2 games to actually get him down, and it was quite easy, so I'm going to put him at A. Dracula, honestly, I'm going to do a D. I think if you get him down, you'd be good, but it's just way too complicated for me, to be honest, and I don't think I'm going to be able to use the dash ability. That's why I put him up here, because his dash ability is not as good as his, but it's way easier to use for an Xbox player. Houndmaster, to be honest, B. She's not that hard to use, actually. Is when you, like, maybe 4 or 5 games, you should get it going, and you should learn that just wait for them to get a loop and wait for them to drop the pallet, then just wait for them to keep running around it until you get the dog to jump over the pallet and insta-grab, because it's way easier to grab them that way. Okay, cool. I would say A. At the start, it's going to be tricky to get the M2 on console, so calm down, guys. I know he's a bullshit killer on PC, but on consoles it's actually quite hard to get the M2 at first. But when you get going and you play a few games, it's quite easy to do, and then he's just an M1 killer, so console, easy. Springtrap, I'd go C, because he's easier than Huntress. Basically the same thing, but like way easier. Okay, and then we'll go Krasu. No, give her a C as well, because it's kind of like Unknown, her ability. If you shoot a wall, it explodes and it could hit randomly, and it's quite easy to get that off. So the first, I'd say with aura reading perks, he's a B, but without the aura reading perks, I'd say he's a D. So we'll put him at B with aura reading perks. Jason, I know you all been waiting for this one. For PC, I give him an A, but for console, I'd give him a C. Because really, it took me a little bit to know this, but it isn't actually the middle of the screen you're supposed to aim with. It's the tip of the spear. When the tip of the spear is on the survivor, that'll actually hit every single time. I didn't know that at first until I played him. So, if you didn't know that, I hope you enjoy that tip, and I hope you enjoyed my tier list. If this helped you out at all, give it a thumbs up, a like, and see you in the next video. See ya!